What's up, guys? Welcome back to me. And today we're at Season 5, Episode 14, Scars. Okay, so this episode starts off with Jude, Taylor, and Declan playing their video game, Vainglory, and yeah, I think that's what it's called. And basically, Declan is trying, but with Jude, and he's like, hey, Jude, come in hot or hotter, and Taylor's like, Jude's just like olive oil. He's gay virgin or something, and Jude's like, he's very parched, and they're like, hey, that's so strange, and they're like, come back next time, and Declan's like, and after this dream, Declan's like, oh, they won't come back. They probably won't come back next after lame that one was. And he's like, and Taylor's mom comes here after shift to leave, and so he's like, hey, we can't do the whole flirting thing anymore. Noah got mad at him, and he's like, why? We play it up for the people, but yeah. Declan may say he's playing it for the people, but we all know he has a crush on Jude. So he's like, hey Jude, here's some headphones that Fan gave to me, and I'm giving it to you. And he's like, wow. He's like, Fan gives this to us all the time. Fan gives this to us all the time. So Jude takes it, and he's like, hey, tell your boyfriend to chill. And yeah, so anyway, yeah. So then we catch up with Callie, and she approaches Agent Allen, and Agent Allen basically tells her, hey, Ice wasn't originally like this. Ice's whole thing isn't supposed to be about getting kids in church. Ice has changed, and she's like, you should do something about it. And he's like, hey, there's an immigration thing going at school. So Callie, after the intro, Callie goes to Jimena, Mariana, and Aaron, and she's like, hey, Agent Allen told me that there's an immigration thing going at school, and basically he wants us to record it, and then it's like, record it. Should we like warn them? And she's like, good point, Amanda. You shouldn't be there because if you started, me, Aaron, and Mariana will go. So anyway, let me catch up with Steph and Lena. So Steph and Lena are sorry, last episode, Mariana broke it off with Matt, which I still don't agree with. I still don't agree with last episode. Like, out of all the characters she could have broken it off with, Wyatt, she has no chemistry with him. Logan, she just met him. Matt, like, out of all the three characters Mariana could trust, she chose Matt. I've already mentioned it last episode, but it bugged me. But anyway, back to this episode from last episode. So anyway, yeah. So Steph and Lena are talking about stuff, saying how she's not going to therapy, and yeah. So anyway, we meet Jesus' new PP or paraprofessional. I don't know how to do the thing. We met Priya, and Jesus is already to like her. But in class one day, Jesus gets a note from one of the classmates saying, hey, his para has nice tits. I don't know what that means. Don't mean to say it, but it's what was in there. So later, so he's like, how are you supposed to like, one of the guys, he's just talking to one of the guys, and he's like, hey, how are you supposed to, with her in your face, and he's just like, I'd rather have her sit on his face, and he's like, the dude's like, I'd rather have nail in his head too, But then they leave because who shows up but Mariana? And he's just like, what? And Mariana's like, you're disgusting. So yeah, so anyway. Because he talks about having their parrot sit on their face. It's kind of gross and juice. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, yeah. So Callie gets, so, sorry, Dean comes over and is like, hey Steph, Tess asked me for a separation. It's just like, Tess, you were blowing the greatest guy. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, Tess has asked him for a separation, and just like, Tess says, it's wrong. So anyway, yeah. So let's talk about. So Callie and Aaron and Mariana go to, what is it? They go to a place. They go to a school where where immigration or ICE or anti-immigration ICE is going to capture them, and Agent Allen shows up, and one of the kids gets arrested as he gets. But yeah. So anyway, yeah. So ICE is there, and Aaron is walking when the kid bumps Aaron into an ICE officer, and the ICE officer arrests Aaron, and Callie's like, you can't arrest him, and Callie's like, hey, stay, and the dude's like, stay back, or you'll be detained too, and he's like, hey, call the JJC, so yeah, so that turned out to be a bust, and Callie basically yells at Agent Allen saying, hey, he was there, he could have done something, but he's like, but Callie's like, but dude, but Callie's like, hey, I'm sorry about your friend, but I can't do nothing about your friend because Agent Allen has spent 30 years in the ICE department, and he's got a family to look after, and if they know anything, there would be a bunch of alarm. He doesn't want to say, and Callie's like, that's wrong. We should set off a bunch of alarms. And he's like, hey, I have too much to work for. I have too much to be discovered as a leak. So he's like, yeah. So yeah. So anyway, Callie gets a call from Aaron, and yeah. So anyway, yeah. So Mariana is talking to Jesus, and Lena's talking to Jesus, and discovers the message about having nice things, and she's like, who passes to you? And he's like, some guy, and she's like, what'd you say to him? And Mariana comes, and he's like, nothing. And Mariana's like, he told the dude that he wanted Priya to sell his face, and she was like, he just, why would you say something like that? He's like, it's just guy talk, and she's like, it's guy talk. Good one, Jesus. So anyway, yeah. So Callie sketched a picture of Aaron, and basically writes it, and basically adds in Aaron's scars, because Aaron wants it, and yeah, so anyway, let's talk about Jude, So Jude, at the beginning of this episode, he got the headphones from Declan, and basically decided to, wear them, but when Lena says, hey, where'd you get the headphones from? And Jude says, a fan, and he basically basically transitions to Lena and stops yelling at him about online predators and all that stuff, and he's like, hey, you gotta return them to whoever you sends them to, but instead of returning them, he gives them to Taylor and says, "Hey Taylor, can you help him with the whole talk to Noah?" So Noah says, "Hey Taylor, talk to him," and they basically recreate the sitting down, putting their hands thing that they when they first met. So yeah, so yeah, yeah. And yeah, after next stream, they end the stream with yeah. At the stream where Jude gave Taylor the headphones, Jude gave Taylor the headphones, Declan touched Jude's butt, and basically he's like, "Hey, isn't it obvious? Declan's into you," and he's like, "I'm into him," and it's just like, "Can't you, Declan, that you touch Jude's butt?" But anyway, yeah. So let's talk about Brandon and Grace, and Grace's mom, and Grace's dad, and their whole family drama. Okay, so anyway, yeah. So as I said, Grace's dad's in this episode. So anyway, so they're like, hey, they're going to. So even though Grace said she couldn't be with Brandon for a while in this last episode, they basically come back with her and Brandon in the hospital room, like they did at Hyde Park. They put the T cells in so they'll attack the health. They put the T cells back in to attack, but that's a side effect because they'll attack the health cells, and she could be immune, and Grace could be immune to stuff, and yeah. So anyway, while they're talking, Grace's father Henry comes in, and he's like, and Susan's obviously, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "I've come here for my kid." And she's like, "You could have gave me a heads up." And he says, I don't need your permission." So basically, yeah. So Grace basically explains that when she got sick again, her dad left, and her mom got controlling, and her dad couldn't take it anymore, so he basically left. And that's basically Grace's side of the story. But Grace thinks that because Grace doesn't know about the affair with the nurse. That's why she thinks that her dad just couldn't handle her mom controlling ways. But anyway, yeah. So Grace and her dad. So Brandon's at the hospital when she gets a call from Steph and Brandon goes to get Steph, and Steph's like, "Hey," because Steph goes to the what is it called? Steph goes to the store and basically starts blurring out. So Brandon goes to get her and she's like, "Hey," and he's like, "Hey, remember at the bank before Mike and Steph divorced, she had one of those things. She had one of those moments, but Mike said that she was sick, and they had to go pick her up." So anyway, yeah. So yeah. So anyway, Brandon goes back to the hospital and talks to Susan. Susan leaves, and Steph and Grace and Grace's dad. Grace and Grace's dad has a moment. Well, later at the end of the episode, Grace is handed a paper saying that Blank is her house agent and will be able to handle anything if she's unable to. And who does she put on the name of but Brandon Foster. Yeah, Susan ain't gonna like that. I don't know how Brandon's gonna feel, but Susan ain't gonna like that. And yeah, so anyway, Steph finally goes to therapy. Leanne talks to Jesus about how they raised him to be the man he can be, and about how they raised him to longer talk. Cause she's not gonna tell Priya that he just has a problem with Priya, because if he has a problem with Priya, she should tell him herself. So, and yeah, so Eren gets out of detention. Eren gets out of jail, and Eren and Callie are kissing, but Eren's like, hey, he went on a date with someone, and if she wants to get back together, he'll never see that girl again. And he's like, and Callie basically is like, no, I don't think I'm ready to get back together, and basically just walks away. Then why'd you kiss him? Yeah. Well, anyway, this was so anyway, I enjoyed this episode of The Fosters. I enjoyed this one. It was a really good episode. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and I'll see you next The Fosters. See ya.